Welcome back, guys. Right now, we have a bunny sprite that sits just there. It's time to level up our graphics and add a high quality animation. Today, we are going to add a fighter jet doing a barrel roll. To do this, we need to use a sprite sheet. So, what is a sprite sheet? Think of it like a strip of movie film. Instead of downloading 30 images file, which should be slow and heavy, we pack all the animation frames into single image. We also use a JSON file that acts like a map. It tells PixiJS exactly where each frame is located inside that big image. This is how all professional 2D games handle animation. First, let's update our asset bundle. We need to tell Pixie to load the fighter JSON. So, I have just added this line, fighter, and I have just given the path of this JSON file here. Notice we only load the JSON. Pixie is smart enough to read that file and automatically download the actual image texture that goes with it. Now, let's create a function to build a jet. We need to give PIXI.AnimatedSprite a list of textures. So, let's start creating. So, here we'll create a fighter, create fighter function, and we'll pass this. So, let's say I'm calling it here this dot create fighter, and I'm passing assets dot fighter. So inside it we will get some sheet. So sheet is basically the JSON which we get here. So now we need to write the code. The frames in the specific file are named as roll sequence and then 40, then roll sequence 0001. We need to loop to grab them all. So let's create a loop here. First of all, let's create a empty array where we'll push these frames. Now we'll loop through this. I have written 30 here because if you see, we have from 0 to 29 frames. Rolls equals 29. So now the file names have leading zeros. Example, 0001, 0002, 0009, and then after 9 we have 0010. So we need to write some logic to. So let's say I'm creating a string for getting this. I, and then greater than 10 we need to write something like double zero and then value. And then we'll create frame names. So this will be something like role sequence, then we'll add the value here, dot png. So let's console this how it's coming. If you check, so we are getting this from role sequence 0 till 29. Like we need, like you see if the frame names here. Now what we'll do, we'll create a texture from this frame names. We'll get them inside texture, and then we'll push in the empty array which we created. Now that we have our array of textures, we can create the sprite using it. So for creating a sprite, let's name it as fighter. We'll use Pixi.AnimatedSprite instead of Pixi.Sprite, which we were using earlier. Now we'll give some position. Let's say app.screen dot width by 2, and then for the y-axis, then we set some anchor, and then our main step, we need to add this in the stage. If we run this now, the jet appears, but it's look like a statue. It's not moving. That's because an animated sprite doesn't play automatically. We need to tell it to start. So now let's play the animation. Let's give some animation speed using this.fighter.animation speed. Animation speed. So let's give it 0.5. So it means half of the full speed. So now to play the animation, we have a function called play. So for the time being, let's remove the bunny for now from the stage. And now you can see a smooth 60 fps animation using a texture atlas. Don't forget to call this function in the init. We can also stop it using fighter.stop function. So let's do one thing. Uh, let's make it interactive first. And so now on pointed on, we'll stop the animation. let's do it. So now it's playing, and when we click on it, it will stop. Let's again try again. So now it's stopped on different frame. So to recap, a sprite sheet is a single image containing multiple frames. We load the JSON file to get the data, and this will automatically load our images because we are giving path here. We loop through the frames to create the textures like we did here, and we use the play function to play the animation and stop function to stop the animation, and we can also give different animation speeds here. Let's say if I give it as 2, so this will be fast, and for the normal speed I have 1, so this will be like this. In the next video we are going to give the jet a place to fly. We'll learn about infinite scrolling backgrounds. So see you there. Thank you. Happy coding.